1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today's show is brought to you by Hexa Coffee. We now exclusively drink Hexa Coffee. We're obsessed with this shit. We've been drinking it all day, and now we are buzzing. And if you live in the city of Chicago and you're excited to finally get out there, explore the world, you can go to their coffee shop that is located at Clybourne and Diversey in Roscoe Village.
Woo!
And what do they have over there? They got all sorts of good stuff.
I mean, besides hosting epic events like live music, they also have tons of food and treats and goodies, plus beer on draft and cocktails using all this amazing coffee. So it's like the best of both worlds. You get the AM drinks, the PM drinks, slam them together, and you are on cloud fucking nine.
That's right, as are we right now. And we don't live in Chicago, but we ordered our coffee online. And if you want to do that, we got a deal for you.
It's easy.
If you go to hexacoffee.com, that's HEXE coffee.com, and use the promo code ELK, you're going to get 10% off of your purchase.
So do it.
So one more time, use the promo code ELK for 10% off of your purchase at hexacoffee.com. And Christine, who do we have on the show today?
Oh, we've got a very wonderful human indeed. His name is Palmer Reed, an old friend of yours from the Florida days. Mm-hmm. And he's a fellow musician as well. We're going to talk a lot about the musical process, what that's like for him, kind of everything that's been happening in his life as of late, and just kind of shoot the shit a little bit.
Hell yeah. He opens the show with a Fela Kuti song. Enjoy. Oh shit, look at this guy.
Hey, Palmer.
Recording in progress.
There's a recording in progress. Can you hear us?
Oh, now we got it.
Is that Fela?
I felt like I just started right.
Oh yeah.
I love it. We don't have music yet, but you just took care of that. That's good.
Yeah, that's
Even better.
That's the best way to start it.
I felt the energy.
Yeah.
Palmer, hi man. I'm Christine, Paul's girlfriend, obviously, but good to meet you.
Hi. Nice to meet you too. You're the coolest because you're Paul's girlfriend.
Oh well,
Oh,
I know. I get a lot of points that way. It's easy.
Get
I'm on
outta
easy
here.
street now.
Well, Christine, this is my boyfriend Palmer Reed.
Oh, it's nice to finally meet.
Love of my life.
My sweet love. What's
Sweet.
up, bro? How are you?
Man, I'm good. Just finishing up a session actually, and writing like a madman. It don't stop around yonder. So
That's fun. That's a fun spot to be in.
Yeah, when you say session, so that's you home making shit.
I've been doing a lot of virtual sessions, so online stuff, and then I've been doing a lot of writing. So just being thrown into these sessions, they'll be like, "Hey, this guy wants to work on this kind of music, and he is looking for a writer." I'm like, "Hey, well, I do that kind of music, so
Yeah.
Cool.
I got
Figure
a
it out.
pen.
Yeah. Are you
I got a pen.
are you a pen to paper, like old fashioned guy? Do you do this in your phone? What's your process like?
100%.
Pen to paper. I
Wow.
respect that.
Have you saved a lot of
realized-
these old papers?
I've got notebooks from when I was in like 4th or 5th grade still.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I mean,
that's awesome.
I went to my phone for a while, but I realized if I write it down, it's easier to memorize. So it's easier to like block in. And I've heard these stories about like celebrities just going into the studio with like no pad and paper and just like making the most insane shit and like freestyling it and like blocking it in. So I've been trying to get on that level. So anyway, that gets me there faster, I guess.
Cool. That
Cool.
makes sense. It saves the step of like, okay, now I have to learn what I was just thinking about. You just
Yeah,
see it,
exactly.
you learn it, you commit it to memory.
It's also just cool that it's tangible and it's saved. You know, like you're making me question my whole system because if I write lyrics, I do it in my phone or on the computer, and then like that'll get deleted someday. Like that's not gonna last forever, you know. But like you got notebooks. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, sometimes if you have the song, you can kind of like at least remember and go back to it. And I just went through like a purge with all my hard drives and stuff. I was going through the hard drive switch binge. This one's not working, so I got to trade to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that one just came back, so I have to bring you in. anyway, I lost a bunch of music, so like I'm really hurt. So now I'm like, okay, maybe it is important to kind of keep it somewhere tangible, like you said. So yeah, that's been the name of the game as of late.
Fuck yeah.
It's a good goal.
So I didn't know that you were writing. Were you writing like songs or like poems? These fourth grade stuff.
Songs, man. I started playing guitar when I was 5. And I started doing shows by the time I was writing my own songs by the time I was in like 4th or 5th grade.
Wow.
And cute little love songs that I
Making those girls on the playground go crazy.
yeah, driving them crazy. But yeah, I was doing that, and then I was performing by the time I was like 12 or 13 in like open mics and all around Orlando and stuff at the college like T spots and Austin's and Natura and a bunch of different spots that me and Paul played at way back in the day. And yeah, so I've been writing music for like ever. And then like I was playing drums in church and playing trumpet in middle school, and I'm just a bunch of different stuff.
Right. I knew about the trumpet.
Goes
Yeah.
deep.
So nowadays when you're writing, do you ever write like, oh wow, that's just a great lyric, I'm gonna write that down? Or does it always come with a song?
Nowadays, and just because I'm getting thrown in these sessions where I don't know what's going on, they'll just send me a beat and I just have to like make something to it. It's more to music nowadays, and it's kind of like I'll just think of like a cool like melody or a cool like cadence, and then kind of like make the words kind of fit into it until it turns into something.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been working. They say if it's not broke, don't fix it. So
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I do it. I like do a mumble, like let me just mumble something. And I'll just like I'm assuming, but and then I'll be like, okay, that I could just what words fit into those syllables, and just piece it together. Yeah. Eric showed me that. Bruce would do that. Eric Miller, like he would just do that. He would just mumble or like freestyle, just make something up and like either fix it later or not. He was actually a pretty good freestyler too.
Yeah, Bruce Juice is a monster. He is a freaking, oh my God. Both of you guys like really inspired my creativity, I would say. Cause it was like before I met you guys, I was like, I kind of not given up on guitar, but I didn't really like playing guitar. I was more into like making beats and like rapping and stuff. And then I got a bug to just start playing guitar again. And then that was literally, I'd been playing maybe a month or two. I was back into it. And then Chef hit me up about the show in Tallahassee where I played with you guys for the first time. And then after that, doing all the open mics where we would do like the theme song, TV show theme songs and stuff like, and just doing different covers and things like that. Like, it blew my mind. And then "I'ma Melt Your Grandma" is still probably one of the best lyrics I've ever heard in my life.
Wow. Have you heard that song? That's one of my old rap songs.
I don't think I've heard that line. Eric
Miller and I, we got into really like spooky rap. Like we just wanted to be spooky. And we had this group, The Galaxy's Evil. And anyway, I had a song. It was just like, "I'ma melt your grandma." Yeah, it's still on YouTube. It's called The Story of the Crypt Keeper. Yeah. So we would have all these different characters, and one of my characters was the Crypt Keeper, and he was just the most evil, So like, "I'ma melt your grandma." That's pretty hard.
That is hardcore.
And the hardest line in the song to me is, "When I order pizza, I expect it now." It's just completely unreasonable, It's just totally unreasonable. It's good. It's so good. I remember those shows. We just had Brendan Goldwasser on the show, the episode before you, and we were talking about those poetry shows. And so yeah, and we told you about it then too, right? So yeah, we were the house band for this poetry show, monthly poetry show,
fun.
Which was so fun because it was like this consistent gig, and we just sort of took it upon ourselves to kind of like try to raise the bar, and we'd always open the show with a medley, like a hip hop medley, a Jay-Z medley, and then one month we did TV show theme songs. It was killer. It was like It's a
That melody haunts my
in this
dreams.
day and age. Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
It was so good. And I remember too,
Sounds like wholesome fun.
Because
it really
I-
does.
Oh, so much wholesome fun.
I would ask way too much of you. You know, I'd be like, Palmer, learn the lyrics to like these 12 songs and you have 3 days or whatever, you know? And you're like, okay. And then one time I was like, look, if you forget the words, just dance or something like that. Or like, they don't know the words either.
remember
Like the audience
that.
doesn't
They
know
don't
the
know it.
words either.
Just-
So just make it up. And then we did like, maybe it was Sly and the Family Stone, but I just remember you just totally missed the words and you just started dancing or something. And people loved it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I was right. You know, I was just kind of trying to appease Palmer, you know, like I just felt bad. So I'm glad that worked out. Like,
No, it was so hard, but it was so much fun because it's like 8 out of this 12 songs we did, like I already kind of knew, but I just didn't know all the words. So I could like, and then y'all sing it.
yeah.
Help me out.
Yeah, tell them.
Right.
All right.
Oh man. It was
Or just like, y'all having a good time. Like just kind of interject a
right.
little
Y'all doing all right? Say make some noise.
poetry show.
Let me hear you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
Great time.
Such
Yeah.
good times. Yeah, it was kind of a challenge. It was like, that was college for me. Like that was after I graduated
Serious.
college, but college was like having to do those shows and figuring out and, you know, and yeah, then we met Chef and you and all these other artists that we were now like kind of backing for a little minute there. And it was just like, I feel like that was my college, you know?
Yeah, that was definitely my schooling, just to be like thrown on a stage and be able to like make something happen. And it's crazy because when I got to LA, I didn't realize how powerful that skill is until like I got thrown into a situation. So story time. So like when I first got to LA, I was on it was spring break. I was going to college, but it was my birthday. And I was like, I'm going to go to LA around my birthday time. The Grammys are that Sunday. My birthday's on Saturday. It like will be around that time. If there's people there, it'll happen. So through some friends and some family, I ended up meeting a well-known producer. Well, a producer he had worked with Lady Gaga at the time. And I played at his house and talked to him for 20, 30 minutes. They brought me to his house. I played for him. He said he had heard some of my stuff. He was like, do you want to come with me to a couple gigs like throughout the week? I was like, that's what I'm here for. So you let me know. I'll come with my guitar. I'm ready to play. So there was like a couple nights he had something at his house and I just showed up like, okay, what are we doing? This? And they're like, oh, do you know any, like, what do you do back home? I was like, oh, I was playing at Disney doing cover music. I was doing a bunch of different cover stuff. And they were like, oh, play some covers. So I would just go into one of the medleys that we had like worked on or some like song that everybody's like, oh, how do you know that? Like, oh, I can't believe it. I want to be the very best. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, we did the
just
Pokemon theme song. Oh,
Just totally trip people out. But
You guys really covered a lot. It was-
we did. We really did.
oh my God. Yeah. Full House, all that, Family Matters, Keenan and
that.
Kel,
Yes.
The
Yeah.
Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island,
Classic.
Was Gilligan's Island in there?
Gilligan's Island. We did Fish Don't Fry in the Kitchen, the Jeffersons.
Yeah, I think it started with that. Because it was
Yeah.
like, booch, booch, booch,
Yeah.
bow, now fish don't
Fish
fry
don't
in the
fry.
kitchen. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Okay, so you're out in LA and you're doing these cover things.
Yeah. So out in LA doing these covers, playing for these people, the Grammys come and I'm not really thinking too much about it. I'm with some friends or whatever. I get a call. He's like, hey, do you want to come to an event with me? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? And I don't know what the event is, but I was just like, yeah. We pull up to the Peppermint down in LA. We pull up to the Peppermint. And when I get out of the car, there's like a bunch of like paparazzi, like you just hear the snaps.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of like, okay, like what am I walking into? And I'm like hella underdressed. Like I was like, what do I need to wear? He's like, yo, just wear whatever. So I'm like in like just regular clothes and get in, all the cameras are flashing and shit. I'm like, yo, what is this? He was like, oh, it's just like a after party for Interscope. I was like a Grammy after party for Interscope. He was like, yeah, it's no biggie though. It's like, just come on. So we walk in. As I'm like walking in, John Travolta walks past me and like taps me on the shoulder, like, excuse me, bud, like moving past me. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. So
it's gonna be like this, huh?
yeah. So we're here now.
Yeah.
All right. So he takes me to like this back bar. It was an open bar. I find out later that Lady Gaga was supposed to perform. Bruno Mars was supposed to perform, but neither of them did. I guess neither of them wanted to. Mm-hmm. But there was like a drum set and a guitar just sitting on stage. And there was a DJ like stage left, just kind of like playing or whatever. So I follow homie to the bar. He's like handing me drinks, like gin and tonics. I'll never forget it because I'm not a very like super extroverted person. So like, and especially there's like celebrities and stuff. So I'm just kind of like finding,
sure.
Like,
yeah,
seems
pretty reasonable.
Right. Is like in like a 10-second swoop, like he turns around, he was like, oh, I want you to meet Gaga. Gaga, this is Palmer. Palmer, this is Gaga. And she's like, hi, nice to meet you. Someone else is like, Gaga. She's like, yeah. Turns around and talks. I'm like, oh, okay. And like, as it gets more crowded, I'm kind of like finding myself like getting kind of butted out of where the bar is at. So I was like, instead of like standing here and like looking like I'm trying to get a drink, I just kind of walked all the way to the back of the bar or to the back wall. There's a bouncer next to me. And I just start talking to the bouncer just about, what's the craziest stuff you've ever seen out here, and still taking back the gin and tonics, my homie's still just handing them back to me. At one point in time, I've got like 3 in my hand. I'm like holding 2 and drinking 1. So at this point, I am like blasted. And I walked to the front of it's like a little pit where people would stand and stuff, like looking directly at the stage. And in my brain, I was just like, all those times just getting up on stage and jamming. I'm like, I wonder what it would be like to just like play on the stage. I wonder if you could even do that. And the homie comes over and we're talking, and I was like, just being drunk, I was like, what are the odds I could play up on the stage? And he was like, odds? And like walks right over to the DJ and is like, I hear him like, yo, Palmer, come over here. And he was like, yeah, he's going to play a few songs. And the DJ was like, jumped up like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. Let me set you up. Like super excited. And I'm like, oh fuck, I'm about to play this. I just met John Travolta and all of these, and Lady Gaga and Evan Ross and Ashley Simpson are there. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I didn't even think it would get this far, but it felt like I got up on stage and said, hi, my name is Palmer Reed. I'm going to play a couple songs. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Just blacked out.
Get off the stage. People are clapping and stuff. Like, I walk back over to my friend. I'm like, yo, man, I'm so sorry for doing that. He's like, bro, just the balls that you fucking went up there and did it. Like, half of these people wouldn't even do that. I'm like, I don't, okay, cool. But it sounded terrible. He's like, nah, bro, you sounded great. Da, da, da. I don't believe him. And like, I'm pretty like weirded out the rest of the night. Like, why'd I do that? The next morning I'm hungover as all get out, and we're at Roscoe's eating, and I get a text from my aunt. She's like, oh my God, you're on E! News. And I was like, I'm on E! News. What are you talking about? And she sends me this article, and it was like, it was a star-studded event at the Interscope Grammy after party. John Travolta, Bruno Mars, all these people were in attendance. Kathy Bates sat and enjoyed a martini while listening to Palmer Reed's 20-minute performance. And there was like 2 pictures of me like playing on the stage.
Wow, that's so cool. That's so fun.
And all I'm thinking is, I need 20 minutes?
Yeah.
You mean
Oh,
20
Wow.
minutes?
geez, 20 minutes. But yeah, so
Holy
it
hell.
always pays to just be ready.
Dude, and
I
that's
guess.
like you just got to
Damn.
sort of jump on those moments sometimes, you know, like the slightest little apprehension and like you can miss a
Right.
moment like that. Fucking good on you. I've definitely missed some and taken advantage of some of those moments, but fuck, man. And, you know, it was making me think too, like when you first got to that party. For me, like if I get to a party like that, there's just cool people everywhere and whatever. Like I feel like I have 5 minutes to like say something, like sort of be a presence, or
Right.
I'm not going to say anything the whole night,
Right.
and I'm just going to be like. And like later,
Right.
I'll just like try to get in a conversation, be like, "Where'd you come from?" You know, like I feel like I have
Right.
like 5 minutes in that kind of a situation, be like, "What's up?" You know, like,
Yep.
or you're
There's
just gonna end up
definitely a
in the
window.
shades.
Like if you miss that window, then you kind of feel like, well, what do I have to add to the conversation now? Like
right,
20
right. At
minutes
this point,
later.
yeah, like
Or
the
like
train has left.
now
without
I'm
me.
the guy. Now I'm the guy, the creepy guy that's at the venue that everybody's seen but hasn't spoken to. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Yeah.
like the same. You can't ask somebody's name after you've been talking to them for like so long. I
Yeah,
mean, you
exactly.
can be like, I'm sorry, I forget, but like, you know, the people
Yeah.
that you really should know their names at this point. You know, there's a point. There's a point of no return.
Oh,
There
there's
is.
you learn the little tricks around it. You know, like you'll be like, oh man, what's your Instagram?
yeah,
or like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure I'm following you on Instagram. That's a good one.
I've had to use quite a few to make sure that I don't fall, or I'll like go and be like, yo, go and introduce yourself so I can get their name.
Yeah,
and
get
they'll walk
that
up
name,
and be
yeah.
like, hey, what's
Classic.
your name?
Mm-hmm.
Such and so. Oh, I'm da-da-da. I saw you over there. Da-da.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Or like tell,
No,
like, just so
Terrence.
you know, I don't remember their name, so you're gonna need to be really proactive introducing
keep
yourself
the
tonight,
name.
okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's what I'll have to.
Or you're like,
say.
"How do you spell your name again?" But then they're like, "It's Rob, R-O-B."
Yeah,
Rob.
it's
like, oh, okay,
it's-
I didn't know if it was like R-A-A-B or something. Like that. I knew an R-A-A-B once. It is.
I knew an RAHB once.
Yeah,
back
Rob.
in the
You
day.
know, so I didn't.
Everybody
know.
wants to be different, you know. They
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
be
you never
unique
know.
these days.
You never know. Man, so you were
Like-
jamming some Fela Kuti when we started here. What
Yeah.
what's in your like daily rotation? Like what are you listening to lately a lot?
Oh man, I have been listening to a lot of ratchet, very, very, very ratchet, vulgar, disrespectful music. No, I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of like Pop Smoke. I love how they took like UK drill beats and then they add like American hood over top of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really dope. And there's something just about hip hop too nowadays where it's like, I feel like there was a time where hip hop music was all about lyrics and it was all about what you were saying. And then it became how slick you can say stuff. So it didn't have to be as cerebral. It's just like, if you had good punchlines, then it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like you don't even have to have really cool punchlines. It's just like a swag thing, like just like an energy thing.
The delivery.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like you don't even have to say stuff cool or be like poetic or be dope even. You just have to have this type of persona that's like, I belong on here. And people are like, oh man, I love that song. So I've been listening to a lot of like that kind of stuff on the radio, just like trying to figure out like those little things that make songs like not only memorable, but like catchy and like just really, what's the word? You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like what makes it click. Well, because like there is a lot of like, you know, it doesn't matter really what they're saying. It's just about that delivery. But some people out there are saying it like they belong, but they're not Pop Smoke. You know, like not everybody is able to do it. So there's some kind of little key element that's probably a little hard to put a finger on, you know, but
yeah,
there's something to, I mean, it's kind of like the voice is becoming more, And it fluctuates, and obviously for different people it's different. Like for J. Cole, it's not like this, but for like, for a lot of people, like the voice is sort of just like an instrument. Doesn't really even matter what they're saying. It's just like a piece of the music. I feel like Tyler is like that a lot. It's like, I don't even really. It's kind of mumbly anyway. I can't. And he like his lyrics are kind of quiet at a register, too. Yeah, but it is like the song without it would not be the same. Like it's a piece of the music. It's really cool.
Right. Right.
When you hear songs, go ahead.
No, I was gonna just say, Tyler, the creator's voice is very like music, and it's very like dirty. Like when I think of, not dirty as in like, just like gritty, just dirty, grumbly, like demonic almost. Mm-hmm. But then he's playing these beautiful like chords over the top on a regular piano, and you're just like, oh man, like it's the opposite there. Type thing.
Yeah. Juxtaposition.
Yes, the juxtaposition of it. And then it's like people like Pop Smoke, just to, for example, like his voice, he just sounds cool talking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if he talks, he's just like, yo, what's good? He just has one of those voices that are just like, oh, like you sound cool. So like, you could say what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like Future is kind of like that. Future, his voice is just cool. Like you can say anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Future's voice he just sounds cool. So like you can barely understand half the stuff he says. And then the other half, I almost feel like he's trolling because he's just doing stupid stuff like whistling or like, like just dumb stuff that you're like, yo, this is so hard because he's doing it,
Right. Yeah. He's like, yo, track this. Like he's
just, yeah, right. You're like, oh,
what? Oh for like 16 bars of just shaking his face. Like,
but I do think a lot of those are the moments that are like candidly captured that end up kind of making a song, like just the tracks that layer in that, I don't know, just can change it so much.
Yeah, when something sounds spontaneous and sounds like
or maybe
they were
sort
of fucking around.
Like Huli like jamming out with her friend. I mean, it wasn't really spontaneous, but no,
it was,
something like that where you just sort of encounter a sound 100%. Along the way.
And I feel like Tyler, the creator, is probably doing some of that. Like what Christine's referring to when we record a lot, we just we'll just record everything. Like,
here's a teacup.
Like playing with the teacup, like get over here, like record it, and like you sort of end up getting a lot and you just strip away. But what you have there it was spontaneous and it's kind of messy and maybe sounds like nobody ever sat down and wrote it. We just made it, Right. We don't write songs. Yeah. We make songs,
But it's fun. It's like very much a product of the environment. It just sort of happens. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was curious. Sorry. I keep trying to. I'm taking over this time. I was curious, like for you, being a lyricist but also a producer. Like when you hear music, do you hone in on lyrics or do you think of it more as like?
Great question.
The song and the melody. For example, like Christine hears lyrics. I'll hear a song I've heard for 10 years. I love this song. I don't know the words. Like I'm not even paying attention to the words. I'm hearing the drums. I hear the flow and the melody, but I don't. So how do you hear things?
It depends. Like I'm very much a glasses half full artist or musician or music worker, I guess you could say. Like I always try and look for the good in the song. Like, of course, the beat is what's gonna like jump out at you first. So it's like if the beat isn't the coolest thing, then I'll try and hone in and listen to what they're saying. And then if I like what they're saying, then it'll kind of like grow on me, or if I like the melody or whatever. But if the beat is dope, then I'm already kind of hooked, and then it's like, I've heard a bunch of beats where, the artist, I don't like what the artist did, or I don't like, the song, but I love the beat, or vice versa. So it's like, I kind of just listen to it as a whole and just hope something catches me. And if something catches me, then whether it's verses or production, like I just try and like listen, like, do I like it? Do I, you know what I mean? Like, is this dope to me or no? And then sometimes too, I have to be in the right environment or mindset and stuff. Cause like, like Tame Impala's last album. I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a bunch, I think it's called Time or something like that. There's a bunch of sand and it's like a red doorway. Anyway, the first time I listened to it, I was like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. And then I did a little research, and I like, a couple of weeks later, I was like in a different place, and I listened to it again. I was like, it makes sense now.
Yeah, it like takes a second to kind of sink in almost. When I first heard Life of Pablo, I was like, it's fine. And then I heard it 2 weeks later, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. Same thing happened with Kendrick's Damn album. I heard it, I was like, it's good. Yeah. Good, not great.
Yeah.
That was good. But then I heard it 2 weeks later, I was like, oh my God. Like, it's so good. So yeah, like I kind of have to, like, I hear something and it's like, give me 2 weeks. Like, let me hear it again. Yeah. You know, like
let me live with it for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like,
believe it or not, I'm starting to get that way with like rap music. Like I listened to Playboy Carti. He like released his Whole Lot of Red album in December, and I listened to it, and everybody was like trashing it maybe the first week or two. So I kind of waited, and then I listened to it myself. I was like, yeah, I don't like it at all. And then it was just on my phone. So a couple like trips getting in the car would just start playing, and I wouldn't change it and just like let it, play. And after a while, it's like, okay, I do like this song. Okay, I like this song too, though. Okay, this song is actually pretty cool. And then the more and more I listen to it, is kind of like understanding, or at least in my brain, what he was trying to do with the project. Because I mean, it's still mumble rap for the most part, but it's like dissecting it and, getting your own answers and connections to it and from it. So it's like, you just got to live with music sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a, some stuff it hits, of course, like some stuff is like right away. I can't remember what's the last song that hit that was right away. That's a good question. What's the last song that you heard that right away you were like, oh my God, this song is amazing?
Party Rockin' by no, I'm just kidding. What was it? That's the last good song I heard. I haven't heard anything good since Party Rockin'.
Since Red Party Food. Rockers was in the house.
What was it? Yeah. What was that group called? Like LMFAO.
LMFAO.
But no, like
I don't know. It's a good question.
I mean, you've showed me a lot of cool music, Christine, that I really dug. There's that one, so good at being in trouble. Yeah. Do you know that song? Who's that by?
Oh God, I don't know. I would have to look it up. No good at being in trouble. So good at wait.
Anyway, it's good. It's like
it's not Cage the Elephant.
No,
that was my first guess.
You'll have to send it to me.
Yes.
I'll send it to you. Yeah,
it is a fantastic song.
Christine's showed me some cool stuff because, like, I grew up with a lot of whatever. We all grew up different with different music and different, and then that leads you into whatever you're into. So it's really fun to when someone else is like, you don't know this song, like this song, this is like my life. Like, what are you talking about? And then you hear it, you're like, oh my God, like how did I not hear this song? But there's just so much music out there. But yeah, some of those you've shown me has been good. Maybe I was more warm to them because I'm warm to you, perhaps.
Perhaps. I don't know. I mean, everybody thinks they have a good taste in music. So that's, of course, what I want to say is, well, no, I just have good taste in music.
Oh, well, it could be that too. I mean, I guess that latest Brockhampton with Danny Brown, that song and that video. Have you seen that? You know what I'm talking about?
What you're talking about.
That was pretty... I mean, it especially comes to mind for this conversation because it's kind of out there. It's different. It's like future. It's not. Doesn't sound like really anything else that's like out necessarily. But it's still like it clicked right away. Like, oh, this is dope. Like it didn't really need time to sit. But maybe if I hear it again, I'll be like, this sucks. So I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. Maybe that's a bad sign.
I shouldn't have repped that one. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I listened to some of your songs today. They were awesome. Paul sent some the Spotify link over. That song, I think Changes was one that I really liked a lot. And I felt like it kept pulling me back in, which I really appreciate in music because I get easily distracted. So I like a song that's going to be like, no, don't go, stay with me, you know? And
Thank you.
yeah, it was really cool. I noticed you have like a soundtrack, a song on My Little Pony. Is that right? Did
Yeah,
what was that experience like writing like for children? That was probably an interesting audience.
Well, it was another kind of one of those things where I didn't know what it was for at the time. I was just told, can you write a kid's song about friendship? And I was like, yes, I can. And it was like my first opportunity when I moved out in LA. So I kind of didn't know what to expect either. So I was just excited. And I honestly wrote 4 or 5 different songs. Like I wrote the first one, they were like, oh, this is cool, but can you get something else? And I wrote another one. They were like, this is cool too, but keep going. Then they sent me a beat. Can you write something to this? And I wrote it and sent it back. And they were like, that's cool, but do you have anything else? And then I wrote the last one. They were like, awesome. And then they made that whole production behind, because I just gave them guitar and vocals, and they gave it the whole sauce and was like, hey, can you sing that to this? And like, yeah. So
wow,
it was great. And I have hold on, if you can see it in the light. If you can see it.
It's a little
Hold on.
between the buffering and the darkness.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's a My Little Pony tattoo.
Do you see him?
Oh, there
Yes.
he is. Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
It's kind of a fierce pony.
Yeah, of course, it would
Yeah,
have to be.
It's a furious. I didn't realize how big the My Little Pony fan base was. Like,
I believe it.
they posted it and people were like hitting me up like, yo, like grown men, like you're an official brony. Thank you so much for doing this song. Like this should have been the theme song for the whole movie. This was the greatest song. Like my kids love it. I love it. I like, it was the craziest thing ever. I'm like, yo, you're grown and you're like still talking about Rainbow Dash and all these like.
But who knows? Maybe it's coming back around. Like if you have kids, you're going to introduce them to the cool things you did as a kid, aka My Little Pony, you know?
Very true. I mean,
these things have a way of coming back around.
Yeah. So My Little Pony, like how many ponies are there? I thought there was just the one pony.
Oh,
but it's ponies.
no.
It's plural ponies.
Of course there's
like
more
the
than
Care
one
Bears?
pony. Yes.
Yes.
Lots of colors,
exactly.
and they all have like different styles, essentially.
They all have different powers.
Different
and
powers.
They all are friends and they love each other. And it's just about them living in this cloud city of lush love and
Friendship.
You know, friendship. Exactly.
Friendship's big.
Cute song.
That's kind of a, right? Line it up. Cloud City. That's kind of a good band name, or at least a song title. Cloud City.
Cloud City, yeah.
I like it.
Like Star Wars.
Yeah.
So you do all, like, you're so malleable and like, you know, you can do anything sort of. Do you feel like that hinders you in any way, or does it kind of fuck with you in terms of like, who am I? You know, like I can do everything, but like, what's my thing or something? Like, how do you wrestle with that?
All the time. There was a long time where I felt, you know, like, and I still feel this way, but it's like as an artist, not even as an artist, as a human being, you feel more than one emotion, you know, like you're not happy all the time. You're not sad all the time. You're not excited or angry or any of these emotions all the time. You feel like 1 minute you want to be lazy and 1 minute you may want to dress up and go out to a party or go to a club or go to a bar or go wherever. And, you know, sometimes you want to be freaky and other times you want to pray and other, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody goes through these whole like smorgasbord of emotions. So it's like, as an artist, it's like, why can't I just make what I feel? If I want to rap and be ratchet because I want to be ratchet because I want to be ratchet, then why should I? If I want to play guitar and write like a song about having my heart broken and being in shambles, like, why can't I? You should just be able to do that. And it's kind of opening up now I feel like in the music industry where it's like genres aren't such an important thing, but I feel like it's still important to kind of have your like wheelhouse. And that's what I've been trying to work on creating right now is like, how do I make a song that encompasses all the things that I want to do without sounding like ridiculously all over the place, and it can still have like a cohesive sound and that sort of thing. So it's like, well, I like to sing, I like to rap, I like to play guitar, and I like beats, like I like drums, like, so I've just been trying to figure out how to pull, like, okay, maybe the second verse I'll rap and I'll sing the verses and sing the first verse, or maybe I'll, like try and find ways to where enough of it is together to where, like, if I want to just go and do a rap song, or if I want to just play a song on guitar acoustically, then it's not looked at as like what is he doing making that kind of music? Because I feel like people still kind of get that. But then you have like the Lil Nas X's, where it's kind of like the name of the game is to just catch one. Like, you can catch one. If you catch that one record that does all, fulfills your wildest dreams, then you can do whatever you want to essentially after that, because you already have that one that kind of like took you there, So I don't know. So
Yeah,
it gives you some slack, a little bit of slack to try other things.
And maybe. I like your answer. Yeah, like I don't think anyone should paint themselves into a genre or be like, oh, this song's cool, but like, is this a Palmer Reed song? Like, I don't know. Like that should never cross somebody's mind, or like even I don't know. Like, I think that's the best approach. Like,
yeah, but there's benefits. I mean, I don't think anybody should pigeonhole them into something necessarily, but it's also helpful for people to know how to like describe and compare your music.
Sure.
Like, who do you sound like or something? That's a helpful tool to recommend to people, things like that.
But I don't think it should come into play when you're creating. I feel like when you're making a song, like, it should just be whatever what pours out of you, like when you make music, what's it sound like? Like, that seems like that's what it is. But I think what's
the most
different,
obvious approach.
Yeah, it's obvious. But I guess the reason I wanted to ask you is because people do hire you to like, hey, make a kid's song. Like, hey, do that. Like, if someone was like, hey, can you give me like a T-Pain kind of song? Like, you could do it, like, but whereas like I probably couldn't. I'd be like, look, I'm gonna just make it so weird. It's not gonna be a T-Pain song. Like, I can go into it with that, but it's going to go
use
a whole nother
thing.
But
that's about
yeah, exactly.
That's about as far as
I can only do like what I do, but you have this like superpower to kind of be a chameleon and do it when you have to. So like, but when you're making just like your own music, I mean, I assume it's a totally different mentality. Like, make me My Little Pony song. You are in a box, but it sounds like when you're creating just your own music, the box is gone. And it's just
and
like,
I mean, it's been more like I'll listen to music and be inspired and be like, ooh, I want to make a song like this. I want to make a song like this. And then once I'm like in the groove of making it, like, okay, how can I make this more myself and less whoever I'm like inspired by at the time. So it's trying to just find that sweet spot, but I need like the inspiration, because if I'm just coming out of nowhere, then it will be kind of just all over the place. One day I'll be like, okay, I just want to do guitar. And the next day I'm like messing with 808s and subs and like crazy hi-hat, like drum patterns and stuff. And it's like, it'll be all over the place. But still too, it's cool that I can just create, because at the end of the day, what I don't end up using just goes in this bucket. That's like, okay, when I meet somebody that's like, do you have any hip hop stuff? I'm like, yeah, hold on. Let me, how much time you got?
Right.
Oh, you need acoustic. Oh, you want like ballad stuff? Okay. I think I can dig in that pocket and give you 4 or 5 out of there. So I love it personally. It keeps me from being bored, because I get bored with music a lot. I'll start listening to one style of music and I'll get super bored. And then I'll like go to something completely different just to like cleanse the palate. Like, that's why I was listening to Fela, and I was in so much like ratchet music today with this session and writing for like rapping that I was like, okay, I need some balance. That'll be the song that I'll say. I don't know if you've seen it or either of you've seen it, but the Lion King, the new one that they did.
I saw it.
So the soundtrack, right? That Beyonce did. It's like Beyonce, but there's a bunch of other artists and they're all from Africa and it's all like Afrobeat inspired and like it's the last songs that I've heard that I've been like, oh my God,
it's good right away.
I love it.
Sick.
I'll have to listen again because I think I've only, heard it probably the one time I watched the movie, never
me
on
too.
its own.
And I never listened to the soundtrack on its own because the movie frustrated me because I was like, this is basically a shot for shot remake, but it's not as good. It's not the cartoon. Like it's not.
Yeah.
And like the cartoon has like all these purples and reds, but like if you're just making it look how the desert actually looks, everything's just like light brown. It's all very monotone. And it kind of. But yeah, I got to hear the soundtrack just on its own, especially with that recommendation.
If you have Disney Plus, this isn't a plug for Disney Plus, they're not paying me for anything, but if you have Disney Plus, they've got she released like her musical, it's like a music movie and it's like to the album and it's like completely different. It still kind of follows the Lion King, but it's not lions and stuff. And like the videos, it's super colorful and like super dope. It's worth a watch. And the music is like, it makes you feel good inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to check that out.
And I'm not the biggest
Happily.
Beyonce fan. Like I'm not one of those people that are like, oh my God, you don't like Beyonce, go kill yourself. But but that album was incredible.
Awesome.
Shouts out to her.
Fuck yeah.
I just thought of one too while I was like, one popped in my head and there was this song, I'm blanking on the artist, but the song is called Water Me Down. And it's a vibe. It's a good energy. So we'll watch Lion King. You tune into
Google Water Me Down and
Water Me
figure it
Down.
out.
See what you think.
I'm gonna note it right now.
Yeah, there's gonna be
Okay.
some liner notes for this.
Right.
I have a question, and I don't know what exactly even I'm asking, but
Ooh, I love
I
those
wonder if we
questions.
have this in common. When I was like 11, I was like, in my head, I was like, I want to be famous like soon, real soon. Like all my dreams, like I'm going to be, when I'm 13, I'm like, okay, I'm 11 now. By 13 for sure,
By 13,
I'll be a big deal. That'll be
Obviously.
cool. Like that's not too late, I don't think, like I'll still be young. I'll still be able to be a famous child. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And then, I turned 13 and I'm like, all right, 16 will be cool. That's a good time to be famous because I'll have a car, And then I get
I'll be able to
16, it's like,
drive
all
and-
right, 18, I'll be out of the house. That's a good time. That's a perfect time for all my dreams to come true. And now I'm 31 and I'm like, all right, like 32, that works. 32?
Yeah.
32 and
Yeah.
all your dreams come true at 32. Like that's
Yeah.
still pretty good. I'll take it. It's like, it
take
just
it,
keeps pushing back,
Yeah.
but like I don't know. But I still feel this, like, are we on the same page with that? And how do you sort of like stay motivated and, keep chasing this dream that we're chasing?
Well, I just turned 30 this year. So
All right. Well, you got me
yeah.
beat.
Welcome to the club.
so yeah, I've been dealing with all of that at the at a heightened sense. But I mean, I just tell myself that I kind of look back on the times where I was like, oh, by 16, it'll be over. I'll be like traveling the world and, like have my own house, even though I'm not old enough to drink or smoke or whatever. And then I look back and I'm like, but would I have longevity then? Or would I be like, have the skill set to really like take what was given to me and make it last into something like I wanted it to be? Or will I be like another Who Let the Dogs Out, or like, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody that kind of like pops for a second and then fades for whatever reason. So I look at the music that I made, because I still have a lot of the songs that I made from when I was little and like recordings and stuff like that. So I'll kind of listen and like appreciate the growth and be thankful that the whole world didn't have to see this growth, you know?
Right.
And I mean, a lot of celebrity, or a lot of people that have made it a lot older than us. Like freaking 2 Chainz was like 37 when he got on. Like, there's so many people that were like, exactly, that were like older, and you listen to their music and it's like, that's why it is what it is, because it has that season to it that somebody that's 19 or 24 or even 26 or 27 like doesn't have, just because they haven't lived, they're not old enough to have experienced it. And it sounds stupid when you think about it, because I remember being younger and parents saying that, but it's like, that shit is real. Like, it's like,
for sure, 100%.
not even like in the real sense of it, but just like, there's not like, there could be nothing that happens in your life from 27 to 29, but at 29, you're like looking at life and looking at things like a whole lot differently than you were when you were like 26. And as long as you can keep incorporating that into your music and keep like creating and bettering yourself, then it's just a matter of time still. And you can keep giving yourself goals. So right now I'm at the end of the year right now. So we'll see where we're at the end of the year.
Oh, so you're like, by January it's going to be popping
by
off.
January.
Yeah.
By January.
In my head, I'm like, in 9 months, I'm going to be rich. And I felt like that for the past 10 years. Like, in 9 months, I'm going to be, I don't spend like all my money. Like, I'm going to be rich in 9 months. Fuck it. Like, I'm fucking,
right.
But like,
but the mindset,
it's like,
on the way. We just got
months. Give me 9 months.
Few more things in a little bit of time, and we're on the way.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
I'm happy to hear that that's your perspective. You know, I think it's good. Like, I mean, it's the only way we can keep making it is to like to keep our heads on straight. But even I think there's a lot of truth to what you're saying. Like, had we been famous as we wanted to be at 13, we might have been dead by 15, like drug addicts, you know, like or something, or like. I probably would have been a huge asshole. Like, none of my friends would like me anymore. You know, like, I've gone through so much growth. And like you said, that like, luckily the public eye never had to really see. And
right.
Yeah, because I mean, Facebook, I guess, came out when you were probably a sophomore in high school or something. Junior year, I think, of high school was around.
Yeah, but even before that, it was MySpace. And I would say that was maybe 7th, 8th grade. You know, when it started to really become something.
I don't know how I missed the MySpace.
I missed it too.
Bandwagon,
my band had a MySpace.
I would love that. I was all about like emo poems and stuff and pictures like that had my name all over it. But I just,
where were you?
I don't know.
Playing.
Still playing with Barbie somewhere.
It also turned into like it was the very first time you saw people start to get upset over things that really didn't matter. Like. On MySpace, there was a feature where you had all your friends, right? And you followed all your friends, but on your page, when people would go to your page, you could choose your top friends that people would see.
Right. It was like
so
a top 8. So you could have
it was a top 8, but at time you could make it a top 4. You can make it a top 16. You know, So if you didn't make the cut. You know, sometimes you would get like those messages like, yo, like, why am I not on your top 8? Or even more like, why did you put me at number 7? Like, what's wrong? What did I do to you?
7 out of 8? Like, you're 3 on mine. You're number 3.
Right,
and you
exactly.
put me at 7?
See, like it's me, my girlfriend, and you. So like, I don't know, like, why am I at number 7? Right. You don't even have a girlfriend.
I got you ahead of my brother. And I'm 7? Am I just nothing to you?
Right. I guess I'm chopped liver. Well,
Right.
geez, Louise.
Well, geez, Louise, you're in the top 8. At least you're not 8 out of 8, for Christ's sake.
Be grateful for what you
Jesus.
where
Jeez,
you are.
Louise.
Well, geez, Louise.
Did I tell you about that? We just used to always say, well, geez, Louise. It was like,
No, Paul. No, Paul. No, Paul.
From another time and another
at
place.
your house, at the house by Full Sail, there was a portrait that used to sit at that house, and it used to sit on the wall, and nobody knew who it was. Nobody knew where the photo came from. It was like framed. It was like
yeah, like a wood frame.
It almost looked like painted on, kind of like one of those painted portraits, but it was like an older lady. It was like a family, wasn't it?
No, it was a couple. I think it was a couple. And like the
It was a
background
couple.
was painted, but there was a real like wooden fence, like a little piece of a wooden fence there. And the guy was like leaning up on the fence. And they were Chet and Louise.
Chet and Louise. And we made a whole sitcom television show. And the show is called
As
Geez
you do.
Louise.
Yeah, the show's called Geez Louise. Yeah.
And she just got into her. It was kind of like I Love Lucy. She just got into her antics, and he would come home and be like, "Well, geez, Louise."
Yeah, and
my
like the audience would
gosh.
clap. You know, there's like a big applause break when
You
every time
guys
he
should
says
save that. That should be like a little song and dance number you guys do when you're back on stage together next.
Yeah, I mean, we could
Oh,
even
yeah.
we should even start pitching Geez Louise around town. You know, like
Could be cute.
Down. That could be bought. That's worth
Geez
something.
Louise, bro. Chet and Louise, but Chet was like he didn't appreciate her. You know,
Yeah.
like he wasn't like abusive or anything, but he just
Took her for granted.
He took it for granted.
Like when you get famous
That's-
too young.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
Chet was a
exactly.
child star and he didn't.
He was a child star.
Yeah, like a
That's what
rodeo
his-
star. He was a child like prodigy of like lassoing like goats. Like
Calf.
Bulls.
Small calf.
yeah,
on-
small
on-
calves.
on
He started
top of,
small, but he was small. So in proportion.
But he was.
But yeah, he was a big
Exactly.
deal on the circuit, and then it got to his head. And
It got to his head. He blew all his money at the horse races, and he became disgraced. He started. They found him giving performance enhancements to his horse, and
yeah,
after that, he was banned. So
yeah.
found a job, but he met Louise, and that makes his life better. All
was
the
the silver
heartfelt,
lining.
Yeah. It's true.
It
And
sounds,
a couple
it
great
sounds like
episodes.
it's got some charisma.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's got legs. It's got legs. Oh,
got
man.
some legs.
It's got legs. I mean, it'll there's like 4 seasons that basically write themselves. And then after that, you kind of have to workshop it, but you can really get an easy 4 seasons out of that.
Man.
16 episodes,
Easy.
hour an episode.
Easy. Have
Hour
you
long.
seen some of the Netflix specials? We're good. We're
Yeah,
solid.
we'll be
Oh,
trending.
man.
Are
Jeez,
you still in LA now?
No, I'm back in Orlando for now. Just with the Rona and all the craziness going on, I figured I'd spend some time with my family. And I mean, all the sessions I've been doing they made it remote with Corona, so it's kind of like I haven't really been missing too much.
Good.
But I am planning on being back. I should be back hopefully before the end of this year for a little bit. But I think I'm going to be more, back and forth as opposed to I did like 3 years solid out in LA, and it did a number on me. So I'm just preparing, and I think I'm going to just be more like bi-coastal now as opposed to just one-sided.
Hey,
It was a lot. I'm a family person, and I'm used to being around family and people I know and friends and stuff. And in LA, it was very like rigorous. I know partially it was my fault, but it was I focused a lot on like, okay, I got to be in the studio, I got to be here, I got to be working, I got to be this, I got to be that, and I didn't stop and smell the roses enough. Yeah, so. But it's all good. You live and you learn.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
So is Florida as like we don't give a fuck as everybody's perception is? It's pretty
Absolutely.
pretty wild out there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Are you like
you
going
were
into
like,
a
things
grocery
are going
store?
crazy. I gotta go back to Florida. Like that's
Yeah.
that's a little bit
That's how
nuts
crazy
right
shit
there.
got. Shit got wild that you
Yeah.
had to go back
Yeah.
to Florida. That was
Yeah,
your
I have to go
saving
back to
grace.
Florida. Exactly. Exactly.
But are people going into like grocery stores no mask?
Yeah.
Epic. That's gonna be
Oh my
that's gonna be
Your
exhilarating,
reaction.
dude.
No,
Like
no, walk in, no mask, and then argue with you for you telling them like, yo, you're supposed to wear a mask. It says so on the door that you have to wear a mask to come in here. And then they want to argue and stuff. I mean, I've stayed inside a lot. Like the first couple months, like I didn't even go outside, you know. But I would do like little things and see stuff happen. I was getting like McDonald's and I look in the drive-through window and I can see like a lady like going off like, you can't tell me what to do. This is a free country. And she tried to spit.
Oh God.
She tried to spit on the cashier and I'm like, I'm home.
I'm home.
I made it.
Feels good.
Safe
Yep,
at
I'm
last.
definitely home.
You're just like
Right.
Nothing like a
Right.
fine Florida spring day. Oh man, I
Exactly.
think actually somebody got arrested and spit on a police officer, and she might be doing jail time now in Florida. Or like there was maybe they weren't an officer.
Like
even.
assault with a deadly
It was
weapon.
an
Uber
assault
driver.
An Uber driver. I knew it was.
Yeah,
I
she
think
was
that
in
was
the
in
back
Florida, right?
I think so. Yeah, she like spit on him and tried to like cough on him
Yeah.
in the Uber.
Come on, like, are you serious? This is when like
you should
I mean,
never spit on anybody.
You should never spit on anybody, especially when we're in a once in a century like plague, you know?
Yeah.
But even like spitting on somebody that has like history in like the world. Like you spit
Yeah.
on somebody that shows like your distaste for them or your like
It's really
disgust
loaded.
for them or whatever. Like
Right.
I spit at you type of thing.
Right.
But when is coughing on anybody ever been like something that's like, you know, like I don't get it.
That's a new one.
I look at people differently now when they cough
me
or
kill this
sneeze
AC,
around me.
hold on.
It's sort of just like, come on. Like, should you be here if you're sneezing?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe
Yeah.
you should have ordered those groceries, you know? Just, I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of adjusting to do to like being around people again.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a
it's
while for
definitely-
people to get used to it, you know. Like like someone being like, like, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Like, you know.
I mean, but down here, I think they only quarantined, like shut everything off completely for like 2 weeks. And then they were, because my friend was a bartender and worked downtown. He was like, I still have to come to work. Like they opened it back up. I still have to come to work. And there was people still coming like, 25% capacity. You can only have like 8 people in this bar, but those 8 people are going to be in there and they're getting blasted. Like it was nuts. And when they lifted all the like, not recently, but when it was kind of like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know if it was like everybody's on some giant Florida group chat or something that everybody got that was just like, nobody cares anymore. And just everybody just started mobbing out again. And it was crazy. Halloween was nuts. People in the streets. Somebody literally just got shot not too long ago downtown. Like during the weekend, they had, not this weekend, but a couple weekends ago, they had like, they shut down like the main street and everybody was like walking in the streets. And I guess some fight broke out and some innocent bystander got shot. And
Jesus.
It's wild out here.
That's like, hey, Orlando's back. You know, like people are getting
Right,
shot
right.
again.
Welcome
Like,
back.
yeah, we're back. Jesus
seriously.
Christ. Were
Yeah,
Florida's
man.
cases like way higher or not?
Well, they would like spike because the governor didn't want to shut down during spring break. So it's like everybody was coming down here and then getting it. So like spike up.
I saw
and
videos of
then-
Miami and stuff. It was just like parties
Right when the
everywhere.
right when the pandemic started, I remember
Well,
that. Yeah.
and I think this year too.
They're like, we just want to party. Like,
Right.
yeah.
They put like a 9 p.m. curfew out in Miami, and everyone said fuck that and went out anyway. So it's kind of like, what can you do when people are just going to do what they want to do at that point? The best you can do is just try and regulate, I guess.
There was a party at Huntington Beach this weekend that apparently drew like 2,500 people. And there was people all over like Highway 1 running around on gas station pumps, dancing and like stripping, climbing trees, like, and just people piled in cars driving around.
LA's ready.
Crazy.
We're ready. We're ready to party. Dude.
People
We've been looking at Florida
are
like
freaking out.
When can I go in? You know, like
Everybody needs
Right.
to just be careful, just be steady getting back out there, you know? Don't go crazy, people.
I think this
Yeah.
summer is going to be like a historically epic celebratory summer, you know, like it's like the Renaissance, like fucking the pandemic's over, you know, at least for most Americans, you know, and it's like it's going to be this it's going to be kind of cool. I mean, I hope people don't die and get sick and stuff, and I think with all these vaccines and stuff, I don't think that'll happen so much.
The sheer amount of alcohol poisoning that is about to be like weighed upon America, and probably the UK as well, just during this summer. And I mean, one of my best friends lives in the UK, and she was saying on the news, they were saying that the NHS, or like the nursing, the medical society in the UK, they're stocking up on STD medication and like antibiotics and all this stuff, because they're like, we just know as soon as we open up the doors, it's gonna be
right.
Well, you also have to.
Like, more people are going to die this summer than last summer, like
than
of
all
alcohol
COVID.
poisoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be
Well,
right.
and other things too, because everybody's been like delaying treatment for things.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, everybody, for a while, like all elective surgery stopped, you know, all stuff like that. But I think a lot of even like, I mean, medical procedures and stuff, I think were stopped for a while too.
Even some like threats, you know, like next time I see you, like it's been a year, you know, but you'll see him soon. You'll see him this summer, you know, like all those.
Your threatening voice is just so funny.
Next time I see you, I just get kind of southern, you know. Next time I see you, I'm gonna get you.
You're so uncomfortable with that role. It's like obvious.
Well, you know.
oh man.
Is that Storm you're talking about?
Yeah.
How is Storm?
Storm's doing great. She's DJing and killing it out there. She has she started a month, like a weekly, it's like a podcast, but she brings DJs in. It's her and her friend, and they go back to back DJing, and then they go back to back cooking. So one will be cooking and the other will be DJing, and then they'll switch. And it's two girls, and it's super dope. And music is super dope. It's called the Set Menu.
Now that's a kind of party I'm like that. I'm ready for that level of party. That sounds good.
2, not 2,500.
Yeah,
2 is a
I
better
can handle
number.
that on a screen
Right.
when I
2,
can pause
3,
it.
maybe 4.
Yeah.
You know,
Is
solid.
Storm? I know Storm when she lived in Orlando, and she like through Palmer. But we did like a demo for her. We were going to be her like live band when she had this really cool demo of songs. Is she still writing songs and stuff?
Yeah, she's still writing and
They were cool
working
songs.
and writing with other people out there. Yeah,
Cool.
she's killing it. She's been out there like 10 years now. It's nuts.
Does she have a British accent?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's so funny.
Well, because her dad has that cool accent, but she never really had one because she grew up. Was she?
Yeah, she grew up out here.
Yeah.
So, she said she had it when she was little, but people made fun of her. So she was like, you know, she got rid of it. But, you know, out there, when you're surrounded by it, you can't help it.
Oh yeah, I would probably have an accent after 10 years. Like,
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding?
easily.
We'd have an accent after 5 minutes.
yeah, I know. We hung out with our Argentinian friends, and we were like,
We just
okay,
wanted to
like,
be
I'm
them.
going to go to bed now. Like, what do you? And it's like, whoa, oh my god! Like, I pick up on accents so quickly. Like, But anyway, tell Storm I say hi when you talk to her. I think about that demo
definitely will.
sometimes. Like some of those songs are just so dope. Like rich girl, or rich folks,
Oh, yeah.
rich folks. Yeah,
Fire.
fucking A, man.
That's crazy.
So are you going to be getting out there this summer playing shows like anything like that?
Yeah,
or is it more studio stuff?
I mean, I'm probably going to be super into studio stuff. I'm looking at hopefully releasing some more music before the end of the year. I would love to get back into performing again. I'm super rusty and I'm terrified, but I'm excited to get back into that live session. I feel like a piece of me has been like missing. That's why I've been filling it up with all this weird studio late night nonsense. So it'll be cool to get back on a regiment. I mean, I was doing 5-6 nights a week before I moved to LA. And then when I moved to LA, it was like 5-6 nights a week in the studio. So it's like a weird trade-off. So yeah.
Well, hey, if you're nervous for those shows, I got 2 words for you: gin and tonic. And it sounds like you'll be just cruising.
I hate white liquor though. Like I hate
clear liquor.
I'm not in gin either.
Yeah.
Well, I like some white liquors, but not gin.
I can't do any light liquors. It's like a hangover serum for me, where it's like I can't fight. The hangover is like twice as worse. And then don't even get started if it's like a mixed drink with like
some sweet shit.
Yeah, the sugary stuff. It'll get you.
Yeah.
The last time I went out, they had, what was it? Mango Ciroc.
Okay.
That good, huh?
Yeah, delicious. I can still taste it.
I think I just had rum like the other day. It was like the first time I've enjoyed it since it made me sick in high school. I literally, it took 16 years for me to finally be like, you know what? That's great.
Yeah,
It's back.
It's
Rum
good.
is back.
That's actually really good. I get it again.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
it wasn't a pina colada, and so maybe it wasn't straight rum. Maybe,
dude, if you
not even true.
want to feel your age, get hungover. Like
so
holy
brutal.
shit.
Yeah.
Is that the same for
True.
you?
Yeah. Last weekend I had
Wrecked
to live
yourself?
through that.
It's like a multi-day event for me if it
Oh, yeah.
happens. It's like
Seriously,
Can be
at
brutal.
first I thought it was like, I'll get hungover, I'll wake up, I'll feel kind of shitty, I'll drink some water, maybe puke, and by 2-3 o'clock I should be all right. I didn't wake up till 5:30. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm envious. I always know I'm in bad shape because I can't sleep anymore. If I drank too much, I'll be up in the morning and it's like, you feel horrible. Like, just gets me out of bed at like 7:38. I'm like, oh God, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, it's trying to find that comfortability for the rest of the day. And then I didn't get home till like 7 or 8 in the morning. So it's like you get home, I tried to like eat some like garbage breakfast food from somewhere and like take an Advil before I went to sleep and still woke up like, no, bro, the mango Ciroc, that's all that sugar. You're going to have to live with this one.
It's almost like you were making up for lost time or something. It's like we've been pent up for over a year and a half and you're just going to snap.
How far into the pandemic did you move back to Florida? Or were you already there when it started?
No, I came back last March and I stayed completely under the radar. Like I didn't go out for that year. Like the first time I went out was February of this year. That was like my first time actually going and seeing people or doing anything like that back home. So it was super weird just being home, but not being home and like not doing all the home things that you normally do when you come home, like see people and go out and
make your
do all this
rounds.
stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's probably true. Like when I finally got out, I had a little bit of the, what do you call it? That freedom,
little bit of that Huntington Beach syndrome.
Yeah,
Let's hope
that
the
Huntington
good
Beach
the
syndrome,
good people
yeah.
at the hospital are standing by for.
I hope they're ready for us because we're coming.
We're coming hard.
With a vengeance, for
With
sure.
a vengeance, yeah. Yeah, I feel like people have saved a lot of money this year too. Like normally people like go out on a weekend and spend like $100 or something. Like, oh, money goes quick when you're going out.
Yeah.
So people are, I mean, unless you lost your job, but if you kept your job, you probably spent way less money this past year and a half or whatever. So the expendable
And you
income
potentially
starts to
got some
flow.
little bonus checks from the government. Potentially, you might
That's
have collected
right.
a very high unemployment. I mean,
Well, that's just why Jeff Bezos is so rich right now.
Because our expendable income went to him. You froze.
we lost him.
Palmer, you froze.
Can
you
hear
hear us?
him.
I hear you clicking around over
Yeah,
there.
I hear that mouse moving. How we doing? How we doing on time?
Oh, we're good on time. Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
Welcome
you
back.
froze for a second.
You started talking shit about Jeff Bezos and he shut us down.
Yeah, it all got canceled. He's even more powerful
Fuck, I
than
said it
we
again. I said it
realized.
again. I shouldn't have said it.
No way.
Okay, don't say his name.
Yeah.
If we say it a third time, he might actually come. It's like Beetlejuice.
Facts. That's crazy. That's nuts.
I almost,
You was like, you're talking about that. And then it froze again. That's crazy.
like, dude, they don't want us to talk about this shit, man.
Yeah. All I was gonna say was, Jesus, that's where everybody's money was going, was to buying a bunch of shit we don't need on Amazon. I bought a pack of stickers. I bought a $30 pack of stickers.
I love
Why?
that. Because stickers are awesome. That's why.
Are those? Have you stuck them on anything? Are they stuck to stuff now?
Oh, yeah, where are they sticking?
I stuck some on my computer.
Yep. Okay, it's a good spot.
I've saved a lot for some odd reason. Like,
Well, those are cool.
I'm a cool sticker.
Quasimodo. It says "Fear of a Black Planet."
Dope.
Neat.
Oh, here it is. Just a bag. I'm a sticker guy. What's good?
Oh,
Yo, I got them sticks. You want them sticks?
I'm a fan. You want to get stuck out here?
that's awesome.
Careful.
I always-
I'll stick you.
I always feel like when I see a car that's got them in the back, like a minivan, like I just feel bad for the parents because you know that they probably tried to keep them from getting stuck up there, but just eventually we're like,
Right.
fuck it, just put them up there. I don't even care.
Right. Just put them up. I give up. Just put them up there. Forget it.
Yeah.
Do you want to have
yeah.
kids, Palmer?
One day. I think I have some things that I still need to accomplish, and I'm kind of at the point now where I'm like, I'm not really a young parent anymore, I guess you could say. I mean, you still am kind of, but most of my friends I've got a friend that's got like 3 or 4 kids already now. So I'm kind of behind the ball a little bit. So might as well just take my time at this point. No rush to greatness.
There you go. Yeah, it's like getting famous. Like you'll be grateful that you waited.
Exactly. It's funny. I heard a quote and it said, what is it? I put it on Facebook. It was like superstardom or fame. No. Fame is kind of like pregnancy, in which everyone's excited for you, but nobody knows how many times you got fucked. I was like, it's beautiful.
Very nice. Very well put. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's always like I actually heard, I think it was Lil Nas X was like, someone was like, you sort of seem like you blew up overnight or something. He's like, if that's the case, it was a long night. Yeah, because it's like it seems that way to you, but I've been working on this for a long time, you know, like, and that's
Right.
kind of, yours was better.
Right.
Your quote was better. I didn't put my,
don't even know who
it's
said
not
it.
Facebook worthy what I'm dishing out over here, you know, I'm trying to keep
Well,
up.
I was just quoting you, so
Yeah,
I was just
yeah,
quoting-
yeah.
you
I said that.
told me
That's
this a
right.
while
That's
ago.
right.
Yeah,
That
that
was my
was
quote.
those were your lines.
That's when I
Yeah.
first met you. I shook your hand. I said, "Hey, man, fame's like pregnancy, you know."
Yeah, it was like
And
actually you said it.
I'm
You
Palmer.
said it while you were playing the drums to some rap beat that you had made up at the time.
Yeah. That was the original lyrics for
pretty cool.
"I'ma Melt Your Grandma." It started. There was like an intro.
Fame is just like
There's like a
pregnancy.
skit, like, you
Fame
know, on
is
like
just like pregnancy.
like on Dr. Dre's album. There's like skits. You know, it's like a skit on the album. You know, it's just that quote. But I was like driving in a car, so there was like car sounds and stuff. Dude, we got to make some music together, man. Next time you're out here, we hung out that one time when you were in LA. You came over, and you and JC made a song. I don't know if I've ever showed you that song. It's not released, obviously, like everything else, but I'll
Okay.
show it to you. It's
Listen.
dope. It's dope. I listened to it the other day, and I
It's
think I sent
fire.
it to you recently, right? You heard it?
You did, and I blasted that.
It's
all day.
nice, right?
I
Fucking
just
Space Jam in the backseat.
Me.
Well, I was gonna say we've got an air mattress too. If you ever need a place to crash it when you're in LA, just hit up
thank
this
you
guy.
so much.
Yeah, of course.
I may be taking you up on that offer very soon.
Please
Well, cool.
do.
Yeah.
Please do, and we'll do another episode in person, man. They're
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be dope.
be fun, man.
Over.
But yeah, we'll make some music. We'll bro down. I miss you, dude. I miss you a lot.
I miss you too, man.
It's good.
This is great.
This was really nice. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for being on our show. And
is this
fucking A.
is this your first podcast?
This isn't my first podcast,
That's
but
a
this is
big
my
start.
first
I know.
podcast.
I figured. I figured.
This is my first podcast with y'all, and it's my favorite so far.
Hey, that's
there
a
we
good
go.
accolade. I like that one.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take
Yeah.
it. So
And anytime y'all want to have me back, and if I release some music, or when I release some music, I'll make sure to send it to you guys' way. And
yeah,
Please do.
all that stuff.
please.
Yeah.
Please
Is there
do.
anywhere we should send people now? People to stay tuned? Is there? What should
Yeah,
we
just
tell
stay
people?
tuned. Follow me on socials at Palmer Reed Music and everything. So Palmer Reed Music down here on.
There you go. Click down in the description. You can find
Perfect.
Palmer on
Make sure-
Spotify as well.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
not your
make
first
sure-
Just
rodeo.
search- Just search Family Gang on Spotify, and
Yeah,
you'll find.
search- No, we're searching Sweet Jones, and you'll
There you go.
you'll see
um,
Sweet Jones alumni.
Sweet Jones alumni. Yeah. Man, fucking name. All right, love you, dude. Palmer Reed, everybody.
All right.
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. That was so fun, man. Thank you.